And welcome to my channel. My name is Choma Mama, and I just thought to share that I shared it earlier, but I had to redo the video, so some of you might have seen this before. So going back to school, children are at different stages. When your child is going to university, what are some things you need to do after they've gone to school? Does it mean that okay, my work don't finish, as in my work is over, they're in school, I can now rest? Nope. Especially when they're schooling far away, you need to be in constant communication with them. Now, I did not say you should stalk them. I said you need to be in constant communication with them. Some parents, your child is in university, you're calling them per minute, as in, what's up now? Why? They have classes, So, constant communication is really just to check and make sure that they are doing okay. My children, I've told them, if I call you, please answer or send a message. So, for me, and you might not agree, I think it's good to check in with them daily. Just to be sure that they're doing okay, just to find out about their day. But you don't even ask how they just talk, gist. And these are things that build communication. They'll ask you, how was your day? How was my day? I gist you about my day, or the lows and the highs. You tell me about your own day and all that. So even if you miss a day, at least you know what's going on generally with them. So it's really, really good that they're able to fill you in. Oh, yesterday I went to the beach. Oh, this one, that one. It's a good way to just stay in touch with them. And the why it's good to communicate with them often is because you're able to catch up when something is happening. So if they have challenges, you already have that good bond with them. They're having challenges with their academics. You can advise them and say, oh, I think you need to go to your study groups more. I think you just speak to your lecturer more. You can, or maybe you have knowledge on that subject that they're struggling with. You can actually help them out. Okay, so that communication is very important. Now, if you live close to where they're schooling, you might not have to do daily because you're seeing them. Maybe they even come home on weekends or whatever. But the further they are, the more important it is to maintain that contact, especially when they don't have a guardian in or around them, which brings me to my second point. When a child is in university, apart from that communication, it's very important that there's someone close by. I don't mean in the school, not necessarily in the school, but somewhere in close proximity, especially if a child is really far from home. I'm talking about Canada, US, Hungary, Poland, all these countries that are not exactly an hour away, or whatever. It would be good to if they have someone close by, so that when they need, for instance, something needs to be done urgently, there's someone you can call and say, okay, this needs to be done, and it's just a short plane ride or a few hours away, not that they have to take like 10 hours to start coming home. So you need to, if possible, and sometimes a lot of children have gone to school, there's nobody around them and they've done fantastic, but if you're able to get someone close by, God has helped people in many ways where they've even met people that they did not really know, and they have been able to serve as guardian to their children. I know a couple who are, someone that they met just once or twice in Nigeria, someone told them, there's this child coming to their state, and they immediately jumped on the opportunity to be guardians to that child. They picked her from the airport, and they check in on her on weekends and all that. So it's good to have someone like that to help, especially with these kids. A lot of these are children. The truth is that many of them have been indulged a bit too much. A lot of helicopter parenting. Some of them didn't even go to boarding school, and you're flinging them to one far-flung country, nobody around, no phone call, nothing. It's not really good. You need to win them, carefully. So yes, we want to encourage their independence. They're on their own, but don't go cold turkey on these children. They still need you. Your parenting role is far from over. Now, still on the communication bit, I've said communication, now I've said guardian. Thirdly, still on communication, so it's still connected to that communication. How would they communicate? Now, it might be a bit too much to say, oh, they're calling you every day or whatever. Let them have a sign language kind of thing. My friend taught me this, so when her child's having a good day, he sends an emoji to show that he's happy, maybe a slice of pizza because he loves pizza. When he's having a day that's not really good, he shares an emoji with some kind of funny thing to show that, look, mom, pray for me, it's not really going good, So that keeps her, she knows what's happening. So even if they don't speak, she knows, his day is not really good today. I don't know, I'll catch up, on him later. I'll say a word of prayer for him, I'll call, So, and then try not to panic when you get those kind of messages. Be sure that they're okay, and and you know what's going on. Another thing that really helps, child is far from home, maybe no guardian or anybody around. Do you have their roommate's number? if your child is at a shared accommodation, it's important to have at least one of their roommates' numbers. This really helped me a lot when I had an issue when my son was ill, and I couldn't reach him. It was his roommate that was able to say, oh no, he's okay, he's sleeping, da da da. Don't worry, I'll make sure he eats, and he was fine. He really was okay in the end. Thank God, everything worked out, but it was good. Now that roommate's number, please. The same thing, don't start calling him every minute. If you call your child once, your child does not answer, you start calling the roommates. They will block you. Children these days, you don't have any chill. If you're calling them too much, they'll just say, this your mother is disturbing me. They will block you with no apologies. So please do not start stalking your child's roommate. If you call your child does not answer the phone, give them time to respond. Okay, send a message and whatever. Make sure as long as everything is okay. Please don't stress. Don't panic and start calling after like 10 minutes. That your child is fine. Now, another thing that is really important when your child is going to a different society, different country and all that, the grading system. How do they grade in that country? Maybe they are used to things, maybe, where they're coming from, 70% and over is A. And America, 70% is not an A, for instance. So you need to let them understand that, look, if you get 70, you aren't doing great. You need to buckle up and step up. So educate them on the system. If you don't know it, look for someone who has that experience to teach them how grades how grades are given in that society, in that country, that curriculum, and how things work. Okay, so learn and encourage them to find out and to learn how things are done. For me, when I went back to school in the UK as a master's student, I had to go and ask questions so I wouldn't fail. So encourage your child to ask. You won't be there. Tell them, please go and see a lecturer. Thank God they have office hours abroad. Tell them, go and talk to your lecturer, whoever. Find out how it is. Don't go there blindsided and not understanding the system. Try and have a pre-learning experience, okay? Very, very important, so that they know what is going on and they understand the system well. So those are just a few tips to help our children. Still on the curriculum thing and the way of learning. For children who are doing like science subjects, a lot of them, calculus is something that is different in Nigeria than it is abroad. So further maths does not really prepare you enough for calculus. So make sure your child gets some tutoring before they go, online tutoring or whatever on calculus, and they get to practice it before they go so that they don't struggle too much at the initial stage of taking calculus courses. Okay, so this is for those going to the US. And then for those going to other countries, languages, if they speak other languages, even if the school is an English school, it's good for them to get some knowledge on the language spoken in that country. Okay, maybe they're going to school in Germany or any of that. Even if it's an English speaking school, let them start doing lessons while they're at home, so when they go there it's easier for them. And then when your child is far from home, please try and factor in holidays, even if it's once a year. Try and ensure that they come home or you are going there. Let the child still feel that connection, that you're there for them and they are loved. Let them feel it, because mental health is something that in this generation especially, we need to be very, very mindful of it. There's so many children who have gone to school abroad, they get there, they are struggling. It's like culture shock. They go there, everybody's Oyibo. They don't want, as in, it's a lot for them. For those who are Japan, I'll do another video just for you guys, to talk about going to, moving with young children to go to school. It's not easy. So they're going, they don't have you with them. It's a complete different scenario. If they're going somewhere cold, the weather is going to be annoying, and they need to have that buffer, and that buffer is you. So you need to make sure you're reassuring them, counseling them, in touch with them. Don't just say, oh, you've gone to school until you get your degree. No, encourage them, try and save up, or if possible, encourage them to come home once a year. If they can, try and save for it, try and help them out. Even though, I know a lot of them will plan to work and all that, but college degrees, especially in the US, are quite expensive unless your child's on a scholarship or something. So let your expectations be realistic. As they're going to school, also know that you will still need to support them in some way until they stand on their own feet. You will know when they're good and they're able to do stuff on their own, with their finances and whatnot. So these are just a few tips I think will help you. If you have anything else you need to share about your child being in university, please put in the comments, because this is what we want each other. We want to help each other, give suggestions that help each other as our children navigate life, as we navigate this parenting journey. God bless you and thanks for listening.